Ladies and gentlemen, as a lot of you may know, Kevin Samuels did pass away um, due to some type of activity that he was involved in. Um, but basically, he passed away of cardiac arrest. Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate the content that Kevin Samuels did bring forward. But I like to show this video, ladies and gentlemen, into respect of Kevin Samuels.
Women judge from the highest man they were ever able to deal with. And deal with means simply this: he showed her some attention, possibly gave her some sex, and she thought that automatically adjusted her level. That's why I'm starting to see hellified basic chicks, hellified basic from the way they look, talking about, I'm not going to settle for a broke man. I want a rich man. I want this lifestyle. And I'm like, you do realize you can set whatever price you want to in the market. That's your choice. But you do realize the market, like YouTube, like Instagram, the market is like YouTube and Instagram. Anybody can get a YouTube channel.
Hey, good day, everybody. You already know who it is. It's your boy, King Nigel, and I am the host of Sigma Male Diaries. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank you for following me on my podcast platforms, my YouTube channels. Thank you for showing me the love and the support on Facebook as well, Instagram, Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have suffered a great loss for those of us who are red pill, also that's involved in the manosphere. A lot of men and women, and I would like to say, first and foremost, Kevin Samuels, my brother, rest in peace, and you have done a great job for us here during the time that you were on YouTube. And for those, you know, whose lives you have touched out there, and you know, you open their eyes and had them understand that life is about cooperation. A lot of women and men are making a mockery out of Kevin Samuels' death. Due to his YouTube platform, due to the truths he was telling, I mean, you have to think about it, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not to actually defend Kevin Samuels' logic or to defend the statements and comments that he has in fact made that are true. But a lot of women and men are delusional when it comes to the dating market, when it comes to knowing your value, your worth. How are you beneficial to someone that's being a husband or a wife? You know, why do model women want traditional men? Why do these women call in and still have this whole delusional aspect of thinking? You know, they have these toxic traits. They're very dysfunctional. And they're not cooperative, submissive, willing, friendly, fit, you know, childless, none of that stuff. But they still want these high earning men. Now you have to think about it as a man. You have to put in a lot of work, especially if you're a businessman. You know, you're a man that, you know, got his own thing going on for him. He's establishing his legacy and everything like that. But then you have some people who feel entitled to what you have. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show a brief video of Kevin Samuels, and I will interject in between. But Kevin Samuels, hey brother, this is for you.
Woman, party of one. Your table's ready. What do you mean a party of one? A party of one. They become a party of one. Because as your friends who actually decided, you know what? I'm going to be a teacher or an accountant or whatever. I'm not going to make enough money to pay for my life, my property, my retirement and everything else. I'm not going to be able to fund my retirement. So I'm going to partner with somebody else and we're just going to try to make this thing work. No, you got so many women who just because they went to college figure out it raises their value.
Yo, he not lying, boy. I swear. I got my PhD. I got my bachelor's in this. I have my dual master's in this. I make this amount of money a year. A man got at least have what I have or more in order for him to be with me. See, these modern women feel as if they are the leaders, that they are going to be the providers and protectors of a man. Maybe of a beta male, but not of an alpha male, a woman that a man looks at as a leader, provider, protector. Now, these women, I mean, they even look at these street dudes as, high value guys because they have, money and everything. They're willing to splurge and do all this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Buying bags, all this stuff because they're making fast money, but with high risk, though. Businessmen, we have to put in our own work, our own hours, and the outcomes and results that we receive are based on our work. But ladies and gentlemen, they understand this shit sooner or later. But let's get back to the show.
Especially this group.
I'm a PhD.
I had my ladies focus group the other day, and the themes continue to kind of play out. Interesting conversation, interesting questions. But one thing over and over, I'm not going to settle. I became this woman over here, therefore I deserve this man over here. Well, ladies, like I tell every one of you, men don't care about what you have. We care about who you are. And your master's, your PhD, your property, your car, whatever, is not, not what men choose on. But see, here's the problem. Women will continue to talk to each other, hype their head up, blow their head up, let women say, well, girl, you shouldn't wait. You should do this. You should do that. The guy you're with right now, he's a good guy, but you know what? You don't settle for him. What happened to that lawyer you were dating 3 years ago? What happened? You used to could date guys on this level. Why are you going to get with this guy who's give him a title, third shift at the plant? Why are you going to get with this guy who's a firefighter when back in college you was pulling this and that? Women judge from the highest man they were ever able to deal with. And deal with means simply this. He showed her some attention, possibly gave her some sex, and she thought that automatically adjusted her level. That's why I'm starting to see hellified basic chicks, hellified basic from the way they look, talking about, I'm not going to settle for a broke man. I want a rich man. I want this lifestyle. And I'm like, you do realize you can set whatever price you want to in the market. That's your choice. But you do realize the market, like YouTube, like Instagram, the market is like YouTube and Instagram. Anybody can get a YouTube channel. Anybody can create an Instagram channel. Anybody can go to YouTube, create a channel, and post content. But that's because you have a YouTube channel don't mean somebody's going to watch it, don't mean you're going to get a following. Everybody who's watching right now has a YouTube channel or Instagram channel, but every one of you ain't making money on this stuff and they're in a business or whatever. Why? But this is the market. So women think because they can create a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel, because they can be in the market, they can determine they can have success in the market.
I mean, come on now, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of us do understand exactly what Kevin is saying. It's no different than when you're looking for a vehicle in the market and you're spending your money. You want to get your dollar's worth. I mean, you don't want to go out there and just waste your money and buy a car. You don't know if it's reliable or not. You're just excited. You don't care. You got the money. You just rush and do it. And then 2 or 3 days later, you realize that you've been sold the limit. Now, why is this context applied to relationships pertaining to modern women? Because modern women aren't who they say they are. They would try to come in as a chameleon, a nice modern woman, and then somewhere down the road, they call themselves saying, hey, I see that you have potential. Why don't you do this? And these type of women, when they get these men, see, they try to take on the leadership role, and we call that role reversal. As if the man is, applied to the household and stuff like that for our structure, discipline, leading, and everything, and keeping everything structured, in a solid, on a solid foundation. But a modern woman would tear that down. Ladies and gentlemen, we about to understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
The market lets anybody in, but the market gets to decide what success is. So all these women talking about they're going to hold out this and that, they cannot produce the outcome they say they want, and they don't want to settle for lower, so they're just going to hold out and wait. Party of one. Sad Chick, party of one. Ebony the Attorney, party of one. Marsha the Marketer, party of one. Nancy the Nurse, party of one. Or the PhD or the doctor. Hey, Rita the Realtor, party of one. Christine the Creative, party of one. Erica the Entrepreneur, party of one. Party of one. And one thing you're going to recognize is all these party of one women share one thing in common. They share one thing in common for sure. You've heard of the 7 deadly sins? I'm going to start talking about the 7 deadly sins, for the 7 deadly curses for modern women. And one of them is a lack of humility. A lack of humility. Most modern women are too impressed with themselves. That's why you could have a chick who's every bit of a 5 on a good day talk about, I'm a 10 because I got confidence. I'm a 10 because of this. I'm a 10 because of that. And then you turn around and ask, is there any room for improvement? Is there any room? Are you perfect? No. All right. Well, how can you be a 5, have 5 outcomes? You ain't never had nobody pay your rent, much less, nobody even bought you a tank of gas in your life, much less pay your rent. And you talk about, I'm holding out because I'm a 10 and such and so forth.
Fellas, how many of these modern women have you run across that has this same delusional, this la-la fantasy land, is this Disneyland, is this whole knight in shining armor, living in a house with a white picket fence? How many of these modern women do you think were told by their single mothers that didn't have anyone that's alone, that you can have it all? You can have any man you want. Just go to school, girl, get your education, get your degrees, get you a nice job, a career, start your business, girl. Don't worry about a man taking care of you. Just go ahead and just do you, being raised as an individual. But when you comes amongst other people in the marketplace, especially in the dating marketplace, not to mention your sexual market value, you have other women that's in better position to be wives than modern women are to be wives to traditional men. Now, if they say 80% of the divorces that are, transpiring in the African American community, 75% of those divorces are enacted by women, and 5% are filed by men. What does that tell you? Use common sense. And this is why when black men become successful, they tend to date and marry outside of modern women. Go figure.
Okay. How that gonna happen? Because today, women are too impressed with themselves. Y'all all think y'all special. You all think y'all think you're special. You think you're the sugar honey iced tea. And you tend to hear these terms, women, because they can do adult things. I pay my rent, I pay my car note, I pay my food, I buy my shoes. Congratulations, you're a functioning damn adult. But women want credit for that like it's big, like it's something. So because they're a functioning adult, they want credit for that because they went to school.
I'm a PhD.
Nobody cares about your PhD. And I hear this bullshit about women are outpacing men in college, and especially black women. Yeah, let them say whatever they want to. Ask them what their net worth is. Most have a negative net worth because they got their master's, their PhD. They're making $100,000. Yeah, but how much student loan debt in? How much is your household debt? What's your consumer debt? Negative net worth means the things you want credit for ain't working.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to touch on that. Now, fellas, for those of us, who have PhDs, that was dual majors at that have dual PhDs, dual masters, dual bachelors, dual associates. Imagine how much that costs. I know personally that runs over almost $300,000 in student loan debt. I mean, you may not be responsible for all of it, depending on how much you're making. If you're going to school, like if you're working and stuff, a lot of that stuff does get applied to your tuition. But for those who didn't have jobs, they went to college like full time because they want to get their degrees, they want to go on with their life, that costs a lot. And I know for me personally, each semester for me that I went for both of my degrees at one time, $30,000. Now that's because we get credits for going for two, degrees at one time. Yeah, but normally when you're a dual major, you continue to pursue a dual major degree. But, a lot of men, they can afford that. They can pay off their debt, especially, when they become serial entrepreneurs, businessmen. Same thing with women. But when you want somebody to provide for you, and then you're talking about bringing something to the table, what you have to bring to the table, you have to think about your own personal finances first before you try to dig into someone else's pocket.
And why is this so important? Because today, women have far too many women are too impressed with themselves. Other than that, why do you think a woman who is an average looking, below average physicality, below average weight, can sit around talking about they're gonna hold out? Or wait, what are you waiting for? The answer is what many are waiting for is a sucker. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and say, you know what? Even though you got 200,000 miles on you and had a couple of wrecks, I'm going to go ahead and pay brand new prices for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, may he rest in peace. It is what it is. Whoever liked his content, who didn't like his content, just remain in denial, stay in delusion. Keep feeling entitled. Keep expectations going on as long as you can, until you die alone. Because a lot of men are woken out. And a lot of women are too. We no longer dealing with this whole modern woman aspect of, just because you have accomplished this or just because you're successful at that does not up your value as a woman when it comes to a man that already has those things. Like I said, alphas aren't betas. And modern women do try to rule men. So there will be no role reversals. There will be no marriages. They'll date, have, sex and all the other stuff. But modern women, like you said, 1 in 4 will marry in the African American community. But let's keep in mind, 80% of divorces, like I said, that are, filed, 75% of those divorces that are filed by women in the African American community as well. So, you be on the danger zone. You might as well go and jump off a cliff, head first at that, in the bottom of a motherfucking coal pit. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my show, and this is your host, King Nigel of Sigma Male Diaries. Some of you might like what I say, but then again, some of you might not. But I don't give a fuck. And I really don't. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be blessed, stay safe, banana.